My name is Paul William Howlett Jr. and I'm a long-time, in fact, original Evanston resident.
Sounds good.
All right, so I'm asking you a few questions, okay? All right, so how do you identify?
As Paul William Howlett Jr.
Okay. Yeah. How long have you lived in Evanston for, sir?
67 years.
7 years.
Since birth.
Since birth, okay. What brought you and or your family to Evanston?
I was born here in Evanston. My mom came from North Carolina up here and met my dad. My dad was born here, actually at Cook County Hospital at the time, but he lived in Evanston. My grandmother came from South Carolina, and my grandfather came from Virginia. And they came to Evanston, I guess, so they could do better in life.
Where in Evanston do you live? Like, what ward?
I live in the 5th ward.
Okay. Do you consider Evanston a diverse place?
Yes, I do.
Integrated? Do you consider Evanston integrated?
Yes, I consider it integrated. It wasn't always that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do.
So, as well, the next one is, do you consider Evanston segregated at all, or in any way?
No, not anymore.
Why do you say that?
Okay, when I was coming up as a kid, just to give you an example, if you were black and you went to the movie theater, which was the Varsity and the Valencia, they also had the Cornet, but the Varsity and Valencia had balconies, you had black kids and black people had to sit in the balcony. And all the white people sit on the first floor. Well, an incident happened, which I'm not going to even go into, and they changed it where we could sit on the first floor. Okay, so that just gives you an example.
Have you experienced racism, discrimination, or violence in Evanston that you believe was a result of your race, religion, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or national origin?
I have.
Yeah.
Everybody has been nice.
What's the biggest problem you see in Evanston with respect to racial equity?
Maybe they need more jobs for minorities.
More jobs for minorities?
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, how do you contribute or want to contribute and encourage others to contribute to addressing the challenges with, like, the lack of jobs for minorities in Evanston?
I don't know how I would contribute other than telling people to go get jobs, or use some places that tell them to go get jobs.
Okay, that's all we have. And if
How's it going, Derek? How are you? So, how do you identify yourself?
I identify myself as a trainer at Mitsubishi. I just moved here to Chicago, so I'm just learning about, what Evanston is about.
Yeah.
But I consider myself a bloodied American, I guess, African American.
Yeah. How long have you lived in Evanston?
Like I said, I just moved here August 31st of 2015.
Okay.
So it's not long.
Yeah.
2 years.
Okay. What brought you and your family here to Evanston?
Work. I got a promotion at work, and I moved from Atlanta to Gurnee first.
Okay.
And I wasn't quite feeling Gurnee, and so I moved here maybe 6 months ago.
Okay. And where in Evanston do you live? Like what ward?
I think it's the 8th ward. I want to say. I live
southeast.
Yeah, where that big high-rise is.
Okay.
I live there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I live there.
And what has your experience been as how you identify yourself in Evanston? Like, how's your experience been in Evanston?
Well, let me just say, first of all, I love Evanston. I love it. I love the vibe. It's a very liberal city. But I also like the community aspect of it, where you have this going on, and then you have just a lot of outreach.
Yeah, definitely.
But I like where I live too, because it's central to the train station, it's central to sporting events, it's central to a lot of places where I bank, where I work out, and it's close to the lake. So I have a lot of things that I'm familiar with to go to.
Definitely.
So yeah, I love Evanston. I love where I live. I love everything about it.
Okay. And what's the biggest problem you see in Evanston with respect to racial equity?
Ooh, let me tell you. Now, let me just say this, knock on wood. I hope this is wood. Knock on wood, I can't say I've had a racial episode or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm just fairly new. But I will say that I am aware of the things that are happening in the city. Evanston and the larger city of Chicago. I'm very aware. I just walked out my door on Wednesday, and they had it. There was a shooting.
Yeah.
The shooting was at my apartment, right there, at the intersection of Clark and Howard.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So now I don't know what race the person was. I don't know at all. But I just know that was my first introduction to what I've always known about Chicago, which hopefully we'll get a chance to work that out and not have as many